Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to do shutters on the cheap. As you can see, I have shutters on my house right now, and they came with the house and they've been painted twice. They were originally burgundy color, and then I painted them brown to match the roof when we replaced the roof. But then last fall we put this addition on the house, this part here, and that's a mudroom, and I really wanted the shaker style vinyl, and so I went with this oatmeal color. So I'm going to try to make my shutters the same color as the oatmeal, and I'm going to try to do them for a pair for less than $6. So let me show you how to do that. Here's a close-up of one of the old shutters. As you can see, the paint is peeling. There's some chipping in the corners. Yeah, I've been wanting to replace these for a while now, and of course price of lumber has skyrocketed, so I have to be creative, which I was going to be creative anyways, but I'm going to keep the fasteners. I'm going to put them on, and then I'm going to paint them the same color, because once you stand back you don't even notice them. So I'm going to keep them the same, and I'll show you what I'm going to use. Okay everybody, this is what I'm going to use for my shutters. These are pressure treated, I think they're called dog ear pickets. I purchased these on May 5th, and at that time they were $2.18 a piece. So I said I wanted to keep them under $6, around $6 for the pair, and I lied. It's going to be a little over $8 a pair, which is still pretty cheap. I was going to go with cedar, but with cedar I would rather have stained them, and I didn't want that stained look. I wanted the painted, so, and these were cheaper anyway, so I'm going to get these done. So what I need to do first, I need to square off the dog ear end. So I'm going to cut right here with my miter saw. Luckily, I've got, let's see, 8 shutters to make, so 4 pair, and 3 out of the 4 are the same exact length. So I'm going to be able to set up my miter saw table for that length of, for my purposes, 55 inches. So I'm just going to take and set this and slide it to the 55 inches after I cut off the dog ear. And it'll make quick work of cutting up my pickets. So I'm going to get at that. Now that I've got my ends squared, I cut the dog ear pickets off, I wanted to take this time to explain why, since I got these on the 5th, I'm just working on them now, which is the 18th. When I picked these up, they were outside, and we had rain for several days. It was actually raining when I picked them up. So I've had them inside under cover and drying a bit. They're still a little wet, but I wanted them to be somewhat dry before I worked on them and put any stain or paint on them. Another thing to note, I would not recommend drying these outside because they have a tendency to warp and they will cup where the sun hits them. They're all right now because I'm not going to leave them outside very long. But if you have to leave them outside, put them out in the shade, or preferably put them indoors, because they will cup on you and it's not pleasant. Now that I've cut the dog ears off, I'm going to go through and I'm going to carefully check over the pieces. Sometimes they have a tendency to split. Now that's not too bad, and I'm going to be cutting this end off anyways where the tag's at. So I want to make sure, because one set of my shutters is going to be very short. So if I have a piece where it's split all the way through very deep, I can hog off quite a bit of that and use that piece for my shorter shutter. So you want to keep that in mind when you're picking out pickets. It's okay to be fussy. I mean, they had 300 of these, and I probably could have been a little more fussier, but it was raining, and I just wanted to get them and grab them and just get it going. So let's get started on setting up the miter saw for the right length of picket that I need for my long shutters. So I'm going to use this piece here, and I'm going to reset my fence here because I put it down to cut the dog ear off. So this will give me a nice flush backing, and the end that I already cut is going to go up against this piece here so that it stays nice and flush, because one end's already cut nice and straight, and so we got to get the other end cut nice and straight too. So move this out of the way, and then I got that against that, and I make sure that this is loose so that I can slide it at will. I'm going to take my tape measure, put her on the end here. Now I got to have my pickets at 55 inches. So let's get that up against the fence here so it's nice and tight. We're going to go to 55 inches. Boy, that's pretty close. I never get that close. Okay, so I'm bringing the, oh my goodness, look at that. Huh, pretty stinking close. So all I got to do is just move it. I don't even think I'm going to move it. That looks pretty good right there. It doesn't have to be exact, you know. It's just a shutter. So I'm going to tighten this down so that this bar doesn't move. And then I'm going to cut all of my ends, make sure they're nice and flush up against my fence, and cut each piece that I need for my shutters at the 55 inches. So this is how I remove the shutter. I take my impact, put it on reverse, let it rip. There, and it's off. Okay everyone, I got all of my shutters painted. I did 2 coats of the Bear in the exterior semi-gloss, because everything I read says the higher the gloss, the better that is for your exterior. So that's the highest they had, so I got that semi-gloss. And I took this panel that I had left over, and they color matched it, and I think they did a pretty good job. I mean, it's pretty darn close. These are the screws that I'm going to be using. Like I said before, I'm going to paint the heads once I get them up there. These are actually for tin roofs, and they work really good for putting things on your siding. My original plan was to screw holes in the battens to hang them, and I did that on one, and my screws were, even though they're fairly long, they were not long enough to grab into the siding as good as we need them to be. So I have to drill here, unless I want to buy longer screws, which I do not want to have to do. So this bit here on my Ryobi is what I use to drill these in, and it fits right on there nice. It's a 1/4 inch, and it's got a magnet on the end, so it holds it really good. And I got that on my impact. And then I'm pre-drilling my holes. I just took my screws and found a drill bit that would fit good. And so I'm going to pre-drill my holes before I hang my shutter, because that makes it a whole lot easier when you pre-drill. So find the center of it, and I drill it out. Then I'm going to take my impact, and I'm going to start my screws just a little bit.
so that I don't have to try to do that when I'm hanging on to it. Just a little bit, just to get it in there, just for it to bite. And that makes hanging them a lot easier. And then I'm going to drill 2 more for here and 2 more on the other side. Then it's ready to hang. So I'm on my last shutter, hanging it. And I wanted to show you that I put the bottom one in first. Make sure it's flush up against the white, but not, the white isn't tucked underneath it. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Oh, hang on. Okay. Then I take my impact. Pushes out for a bit until it catches. Then it goes in. Then I go up to the top one. Same deal. Make sure it's not over the white trim. And then I impact that. I don't know if that bit or not. Should be okay. Then I go to the middle one. Same deal. The spot, I take just a stencil brush and I just go around these heads. I'm not much of a painter. Every time I open a can, I get paint on me. And that one. And there. All 6 heads are painted. And I've done all the shutters, at least with 1 coat of the nail, and I still have this much paint left. So there's quite a bit still in there. So I'm happy with that. Okay folks, here they are, all done. I think it makes a world of difference. This isn't even... This is about half of my field, or my yard, and the rest to the road is probably another same distance. So you really can't tell where the screws are, but I love it. I think it just really ties it in, and we'll see how long it lasts, but I'm going to leave the product descriptions, or the product links in the descriptions below, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll try to get the answer for you as soon as possible if I can. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.